Season 2 of The Mandalorian is drawing closer and closer, and with these new set photos that were just released by Entertainment Weekly, we get a brand new look at some of our favorite characters. Hello everybody and welcome back to Joker's Movie Network. I'm your host Joker, and today we've got some awesome set photos that just came out from Entertainment Weekly for Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now the clock is ticking for The Mandalorian as Season 2 starts on October 30th of this year, and we still have not seen anything of a trailer. But these official set photos I guess will have to do for now, so let's break them down and see what we can get out of these. So of course, with the success of Season 1 of The Mandalorian, everyone wants to know where the story is going to be going next. And now with this official first look at the growth of the characters from Season 1 to Season 2, it makes me wonder where the story is going to be taking place, if it's directly after Season 1, or if maybe a few months or even a year has passed in time. So the first official picture we got is right here of the Mandalorian and the child himself. One thing I found interesting is that there's a lot of set photos that have the child in it, and if you notice, the child has a lot more detail in his face throughout his ears, and I'm wondering if that's because he's potentially aged a little bit since the last time we saw him. I know a lot of people have already been speculating on this, and that perhaps there is some time that has passed to show growth in the characters as well as aging in the child. However, I could be completely wrong, and this could just be an update in the child's wardrobe and costume and makeup stuff, so it just makes him look a little bit older and just more realistic as compared to Season 1. But I think that's a fantastic shot and a great pose. We have the Mando looking there all badass as he typically is. And a lot of these set photos look like they're on the same planet. If we go to the next one here. So if we look at the next one here, we've got him on a swoop bike with the child sitting there on the back. It looks like this is in the same location as where the other picture was shot. It does look like he was up against the wall there into the entrance of what could be a cantina, I guess. But it does look like we're again still on Tatooine, and I'm wondering if we're going to be going back there since we had the whole shootout episode earlier in Season 1, and maybe that's where the potential of Boba Fett or Cobb Vanth is supposed to come into play. So maybe that's why we're looking at going back to Tatooine, or this could be, any other desert planet like Jakku. We really don't know. But as we move forward, we do get into the first shot of the whole crew. We have the Mandalorian, Greef Karga, and Cara Dune. Really, the big notable differences I'm seeing here is one, Greef Karga. What is going on with this? He's got some real nice regal looking clothing on. He looks like he's made of money right now. And also the facial hair is very different. If we look at some of the photos from Season 1, Greef Karga was clean shaved and he had a nice mustache that matched his hair color. And now he's growing it all out and it's all white, which is one of the reasons I'm wondering, has time passed with this at all? Or is this just something they happen to overlook? And another thing I've noticed is that the Mandalorian's armor in all of these pictures, as we saw earlier in Season 1, his armor was brand new and shiny. This could just show age and wear and tear, just as it gets dirty over time. But it does look like they've gone for more of a frosted metal look, so it doesn't shine or it doesn't shimmer. You can't see reflections in it. And it might just be something that's more easy on the camera, or it just might be, again, showing the time of age within his armor. And then we have one of the variant covers for Entertainment Weekly where we have, again, the child right there front and center, and this is what I was talking about. He does look like he has aged a little bit. I don't know if this is just really strict photo editing style that has made him look like this, or if this is actually how he's going to be looking in Season 2, but it does kind of give off the vibe that he has aged a little bit, and you can kind of see that in his face, and then like the wrinkles under his eyes and the way his hair is starting to kind of grow out a little bit more as well. And then if we look at the second cover for Entertainment Weekly, we can see what I was talking about earlier with his armor. It does look like the Beskar has aged, or it has seen some action. It's not necessarily brand new and shiny anymore. Yes, I know he's been fighting a lot of people since he got that, but for the remainder of Season 1, it seemed to be very shiny and reflective. And now that we have this more of a brushed or a frosted finish, I kind of like it a little bit more. It makes it seem a little more relaxed and not as noticeable, and I think it just fits in with his character a little better than it was when it was just brand new. Up next, we have a closer look at Gina Carano's character of Cara Dune. It doesn't look like much of her has changed. Maybe her hair got a little bit longer, which again could potentially show the passing of time, but it's pretty much the same kind of deal that we're working with, and again, she looks badass as always. And here we got a closer look at Carl Weathers as Greef Karga, and again, just looking at the royal outfit he has on, I just think it looks damn good compared to what he was wearing in Season 1, and it does kind of help match with the white facial hair he's grown out, because it does look like he's more of a established figure, if you will. He's got the white hair to show some age and some maturity to him, and the outfit just kind of helps put that together. And then, of course, we have Giancarlo Esposito playing the evil Moff Gideon, which is, this is a pretty cool shot because if you look at the background, it is blurred out, but you see a lot of lights and some buttons, and it makes me think he's potentially on a Star Destroyer or another Imperial cruiser of some sort, and he is probably hunting strictly for the child and the child only. So one thing I did find interesting when thinking about this photo and what his role is going to be in Season 2, it did make me think that there's really not a whole lot of higher up Imperial people that are available to be hunting for the child right now. Because around the time when this is going to be taking place, a lot of the other higher up Imperial troops, such as Grand Admiral Sloane, or at this point she may still be Admiral Sloane, she is very much concerned with the New Republic and fighting for dominance and getting the Empire back together, and everyone else that's higher up in the Empire is trying to fight over who's going to be in charge now and who has the better fleet. There's a lot going on that's just tearing the Empire apart, or what's left of it. So now you have Moff Gideon showing up out of nowhere, which I guess he has his own elite troop that's just going to stick with him and no one else, and he's just on this direct hunt to find the child. What is his deal, and why does he have the Darksaber? And is Bo-Katan coming in Season 2 going to be a big part to play in that, or is she already dead and this is going to be a flashback showing how he got the Darksaber? I have many questions that need to be answered. So overall, from just the pictures alone, I'm really excited about what I'm seeing, even though it doesn't show barely anything besides what they look like now as opposed to what they look like in Season 1. It still gets you wondering what's going to be happening. Has there been any time that passed? What is this actually going to bring, and how much of a bigger scale are we going to get out of Season 2? And some of these questions are almost kind of already answered, as we have some quotes in the Entertainment Weekly article from both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And part of the quote in this article says, "The new season is about introducing a larger story in the world. The stories become less isolated, yet each episode has its own flavor, and hopefully we're bringing a lot more scope to the show. Everything gets bigger, the stakes get higher, but also the personal story between the child and the Mandalorian develops in a way I think people will enjoy." So from right there, we can kind of see that the world is going to get bigger. Perhaps that means there's more planets involved or more characters involved, which would make a lot of sense, as we've had nothing but rumors on top of rumors on top of rumors of all these new characters that are going to be involved in Season 2 and potentially Season 3. And these characters are including, but not limited to, Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, Ezra Bridger. We also have talks of Boba Fett, maybe Captain Rex. There's a lot going on, and it seems that if you throw everyone in at once, it would be a little bit of an issue for the show, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to play it smart, and if these characters have to be involved, they will do it in a way that makes sense, because otherwise, you get to a point where the Mandalorian's just going to be like, why do I care? Again, discussion with my roommate, we had this exact same talking about what would happen with all these characters, and then explaining the potential backstories of where they've been and why they're here now. And then you get back to the Mandalorian, he's looking, with Ahsoka, for example. Ahsoka's explaining she was off with Sabine looking for Ezra and found nothing, if that were the case. And the Mandalorian's going to be sitting there like, why do I care about this story right now? This has nothing to do with me. I'm here for the child and the child only. So I think there's a lot of different ways you can look at what's potentially going to happen and who's going to be involved in the story. But as we talk about adding new characters into Season 2, we have a great quote that follows saying, "As we introduce other characters, there are opportunities to follow different storylines. The world was really captivated by Game of Thrones and how that evolved as the characters followed different storylines. That's very appealing to me as an audience member." So it does look like Jon Favreau is potentially going to be taking the route of a Game of Thrones and giving us all of these characters and allowing them to spread out into their own different stories, giving us a look at the universe from different angles during the same time period. I'd be okay with it as long as it doesn't take away from the fact that this is a story of the Mandalorian and the child, trying to figure out the origin of the child, where he's from, what his race is, why he's Force sensitive. There's a lot of questions that we need to know. But I think if you can do it in a way that fleshes out the story of the Mandalorian and expands into the Star Wars universe without just overhauling it and bringing back everything that we already know and creating somewhat of a fan service season, I think everything's going to play out just fine. But just off of that, I have really high hopes to see what's going to be coming out of this. All I really want to know now is, are we going to get a trailer for Season 2? And I mean, obviously, they're going to be putting out a trailer probably very soon. I know I've said that many times, but the fact that it starts on October 30th, you have about a month and a half before you actually have that happen. So are we going to get a trailer? Yes or no? And I had a conversation about that, and I thought it was really interesting. In theory, they could just not put out a trailer for Season 2. We don't necessarily need one, considering everyone that's following The Mandalorian knows it's going to be coming out next month, and we're already prepped and ready to watch it. Of course, on the other hand, they probably already have a trailer in development or a trailer ready to go, and they're just waiting for the right time to release it. But in theory, I mean, if they just decided to not release a trailer, I wouldn't necessarily be mad about it because I could go into season 2 completely unaware of where the story is going to be going or who's going to be involved, and I think that would be a smart way to keep spoilers off the internet. But again, that's just my thoughts. I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing a trailer soon. I just don't know when that is. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this Entertainment Weekly article? I'm going to be posting the link to it in the description down below. Definitely check it out. It's full of so much information, and it makes me just more and more hyped for more Mandalorian. Do you like what you saw from the set photos? Do you think any of my theories are correct about time passing, or maybe it's just a change in costume that's just for the sake of change in costume? Do you think any of the ideas about other characters being tied in are going to happen strictly in Season 2, or do you think some of the characters that have been rumored are going to be sparsely placed throughout Seasons 2 and the upcoming Season 3? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about it, and definitely tell me, when are we getting this trailer? Because I have no idea. But I guess until someone wants to tell me there's a trailer for Season 2 out right now, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more movie news videos, or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.